Well, my name is Helen Wade, and I'm running for re-election to the Columbia Board of Education for my second three-year term. I am hopeful that I'll get a chance to serve the district for 3 more years after having served from 2011 through 2014.
And why did you want to run for re-election?
Well, that's an excellent question that I've been asked several times. I ran the first time partly because my daughter was just embarking on her career with Columbia Public Schools. She was a kindergartner at Mill Creek, and I really felt like I wanted to be part of the discussions and decisions that were going to be made about education Columbia-wide, and that would ultimately affect my daughter. Then over the last 3 years, after I've served the public, I've really gotten to appreciate the depth of impact that a lot of the decisions that Columbia Public Schools Board of Education makes with respect to the kids, their families, and the stakeholders in general. Columbia Public Schools really is a magnet that holds this community together. It's one of the reasons that people want to live here. Now, when I came to make the decision about whether I wanted to run again for election, the answer was emphatically yes, because the work's not done. What I've learned over the last 3 years certainly has informed what I think we are capable of doing over the next 3 years. Our focus is different. While we've accomplished a lot, there's a lot of work yet to be done for this community, which is growing by leaps and bounds. Our kids deserve the very best. They've had a wonderful educational system to be part of. We can just make it that much better with the tools that we've got in place now.
And what do you see as the biggest issues facing the district right now?
Every time that question is posed, one of the answers that's given has to be finances. We have very little control to some extent over the finances that we receive. The state is very uncertain about the level at which it will fund the foundation formula, and that has a very dramatic impact on what types of programs we can afford to promote and pay for, how well we can pay our teachers, etc. So finances remains a challenge. I am an advocate to make sure that the money that we are spending on programs, etc., is spent in a manner that on programs and things that work really well and that are proven effective by the data that is produced from them. The second challenge we have, which is also a perpetual challenge, is the ever-present achievement gap. Our district has done a really good job of talking about this issue in terms of opportunity. We have a strong early childhood program which helps to impact the gap in opportunity before our students ever start kindergarten. I think that program can be strengthened. We have to pay attention to our super subgroups with respect to the data that's being produced and the level at which they are achieving in math, in science, and in English language arts. We need to be critical of the programs and curriculum that we have in place to make sure that it aligns well with the state standards and that the assessments that we use are effective in targeting and revealing problems when they occur so that we can effectively address them with each student. And third, we are facing a lot of growth, like I said before. That has a direct impact on all of our families. We've redrawn boundaries associated with a secondary reorganization, and recently the board voted on a redrawing of boundaries associated with some overcrowding. This is going to be a continuing issue that we have to address, and I think we need to do it more proactively than reactively so that the public in general, and particularly families and students, can predict a little bit better if and when a change might be implemented that affects them.
And what do you see as the district's greatest strengths, and where are some areas that could use improvement?
Well, the district's greatest strengths lie within our kids. Our kids are incredible, and they're incredible because of the support that we receive from the community. We have wonderful teachers. At the end of the day, the board can make lots of policy decisions, and the administration can promote different types of materials to meet our standards. But it's the teachers who ultimately deliver that education to our students. I think we have wonderful teachers, and that certainly is one of our strengths. Columbia is a city of very involved constituents, and the support that they've lended to the public school system over the last 3 years and the last 5 years, frankly, insofar as their approval of bond issues, their approval of tax levies, and their willingness to provide financial support to our school system has been absolutely incredible, and that certainly is a strength within Columbia Public Schools. We've just recently selected a new superintendent. He comes from within the district, and as a result, I think that his strength will be carrying us through this transition with gusto. I think he's going to do a wonderful job. Areas of improvement we talked about a little bit before. We certainly need to pay attention to our finances. We need to effectively and proactively address growth within the district. And we also need to do a really good job of making sure that every one of our students is achieving at their highest possible potential and provide them the support that they need to do so on a continuing and ever-improving basis.